Welcome to the Blues Trail Revisited podcast. It's episode 11, and I'm Ted Reed. This podcast is sponsored by the Clarksdale Tourism Commission, also widely known as Visit Clarksdale. This podcast is an offshoot of a film I finished this year about my return to the Mississippi Delta to rediscover the places I first encountered 50 years ago. To see the film, just go to www.bluestrailrevisited.com.
When I got here, you said you wanted a brand new driver, a fresh new approach to taking this wheel. But if I thought all you wanted was a 145 boys, I'd have to think about shitting out this deal.
Quite a few people who initially come to Clarksdale just to visit for the music end up staying because of the friendly, welcoming attitudes of just about everybody in the town. I know that on just my second visit here, people recognized me and welcomed me back like I was family who had just wandered off for a few days. Two of the people who decided to put down roots here are Bob and Carol Crivaro, owners of the Bluesberry Cafe, a Clarksdale music landmark. Just about everyone who has ever played in Clarksdale has been here either to perform, eat, or both. And during many of the music festivals, they never seem to close. I was lucky to catch Bob and Carol in between meals and performances to get the inside story behind this iconic venue.
And if you want a survivor, you're looking at one.
All right, Carol, thank you very much for coming on the Blues Trail Revisited podcast. Appreciate it.
We appreciate
Our
it too.
pleasure.
So, the Bluesberry is really an institution here in Clarksdale. When did you guys come here to start it?
We came in '05, the later part of '05, and decided that we wanted to come back. And in January of '06, my wife and my daughter stayed behind. Two friends of mine and I came up here and took the shoe store and started working on it and made it into a club.
Okay.
Now, when we first came, we started as we wanted it to be a cafe with coffee and pastry because we own bakeries in Florida,
Sugar-free.
sugar-free, low carb.
Yeah.
And in Clarksdale, Mississippi, that doesn't work too good.
They want
So
sugar.
we did the other thing. We know how to cook. We know food.
Right.
So we decided to turn it into a little more of a nightclub atmosphere.
Yeah, I was going to ask when did music come here?
Oh, music started,
It started right
from
away.
the beginning.
Yeah.
In fact, when we first opened, it was the Sunflower Festival in the first in 06, and we had a metal band.
Well, no, we had.
We did.
We had
and
a-
everybody came. It was crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, we had blues, but we
had a couple of
yeah.
bands, but we decided that since nothing was going on and there were kids running around, and our ex-son-in-law, actually
Yeah,
that picture up there is a picture of our ex-son-in-law, and he had his band up here, so we said, well,
Yeah, go ahead.
play for the kids, and it
And
was
they
packed.
came. Yeah, it was packed.
Yeah.
It was fun. Even adults came. They all wanted to see what in the world.
Something different.
Something different.
Yeah,
but
but
we
it-
stuck to the blues after
Yeah,
that.
our forte is the blues, you know.
Do you find that's where visitors really come for?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
definitely.
Blues, blues,
You know,
blues.
from every corner
Yeah,
of the earth,
earth.
they'll come for the blues.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because you end up with friends from all over the place. And
I'm gonna head down the highway. Leave, I go back home. I'm gonna head down the highway. Leave, I go back home. I'm going back to Mississippi, down to the land where I'm from.
When I first came to Clarksdale, people said you got to go to Bluesberry and listen to whoever's there and get the meatballs.
Oh, yeah. Old
That-
Italian recipe.
the old Italian recipe is actually my grandfather's recipe for meatballs. So
The one
I
that
always
he used to
enjoyed
stick in
them.
his pocket when he was a child. He'd
Well,
tell me the story.
Well, yeah, every Sunday, my family would go to my grandparents, and my grandmother would give all the kids Hershey bars. And I'd say, Grandma, I don't want that. Give it to one of the kids. But they made the meatballs, and they had the giant pickle jar just full of meatballs. And I would take and put them in my pockets of my little suit because we went to church, and my parents would bring us over after church. And every week, my mother would go, oh, you know, smell of garlic, and have to send it off to the cleaners.
Exactly. You know, when I tell my friends I'm going back to Clarksdale, they say, "Man, you keep on going back down there. What is it about that place?" And so I wanted to put the question to you: what's so special about Clarksdale,
What's so
Mississippi?
special about Clarksdale? Some of the places, some of the people, and going to Stan's. That's our favorite place if we go anywhere, which lately we haven't been. Just being able to go out and hang with people, hear blues people, sometimes on the stage.
It's more natural, It's
You know,
more
becoming-
natural here. It's not big hustle and bustle, and the Europeans like it here because it's that way.
Yeah.
And everybody's warm and friendly.
Coming here and
Yeah.
watching Craig and Kingfish Ingram
Oh, we've watched a lot
grow
of
up
these kids
as,
grow
as
up.
a kid. We didn't even know he played guitar. He was playing bass behind Sean Apple. And it was like all of a sudden he told Sean one day, "Can I play a little six string?" And I think we all our jaws dropped, and I'm just really proud of that kid.
And then what's even nice is the musicians, what the people like is they can get up close and personal with the musicians.
Right.
And get a CD and talk with them and get autographs or buy a T-shirt. I mean, you really can't do that in most places, or most clubs. They don't allow
And,
that.
one thing that we want people to feel like they're part of the family here. You're home. Come and join us. And that's what our attitude is. We want to meet all these new people from whatever part of the globe they're from.
Yeah, it's fun.
So it's so much fun, as you well know.
Yeah.
Because you keep coming back here too.
Exactly. I'm another one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that things are hopefully starting to open up again, maybe even the Europeans will come back.
Yeah, well, hopefully, well, they'll come once they get over this flight thing that they're doing.
We're looking forward to
Yeah.
when our European friends can come back.
Oh, we're gonna have a nice
And they
party.
can't wait.
They
John
can't wait. They're
Hanschel.
calling, I wanna come. We're waiting. Lift
And-
the band.
And missing the festivals.
Yeah.
An Australian couple that we've become very friendly. October, they were supposed to be remarried here at the Bluesberry. And Frank McKenna and his bride, Sarah, were going to have their wedding reception here.
Then
So
that-
all those plans got waylaid, and maybe they'll rekindle those. We hope so, because we love these people.
And
Well,
you know
I-
what else, like there's no paparazzi here.
Right.
And like one Sunday, this short little guy comes in with his son. So Art goes, "Hey, that's Paul Simon." And I looked at him, I said, "Oh yeah, I like Neil Simon." He says, "No, from Simon and Garfunkel, crazy lady." And I said, "Oh my gosh." And he sat over there, and he was so nice, and he met Super Chicken here, and he bought some of Super Chicken's guitars, and he signed autographs, and I mean, he was really cool. But like I'm saying, the paparazzi, there's lots of people that come here that are well-known, but you wouldn't know it because nobody bothers them. And one night, we had Dan Aykroyd came in here with
Well, that's a
with Donna
story in
Dixon.
itself. I was playing with
Yeah.
Iceman and Sean Apple. And I have a tendency when I'm playing that I sometimes close my eyes, like a lot of musicians. Well, my hearing isn't very good, and I didn't hear my phone, so they called Sean. Sean never said a word to me. And we're playing along, and I just saw the feet of some people coming through because I was concentrated, and they went toward the back room. And as we finished that song, these people that came and sat, we had these long tables in with them. And I looked up at Sean, I said, "That guy looks like Dan Aykroyd." And Sean turned to me, he says, "Oh, you think? I'd like to welcome Elwood Blues to the stage." I went, "You son of a gun." But I got him
He
back.
got up and he played, and he did the Elwood Shuffle. And he was with Donna Dixon, who's a movie star, and
Well,
two
now he
children.
married her.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
children from other mothers with their boyfriends. And he was so nice, and he signed autographs, but nobody bothered him. I mean, it was real gentlemanly and really super nice.
The next day, we were walking around the streets together, and that's something about Clarksdale, too. Robert Plant, a lot of these guys come here, and, people come up for an autograph and then leave them alone. They can walk the streets. Dan Aykroyd was walking all over the
And nobody,
place.
oh, and who else came? Ozzy Osbourne came and was
Yeah,
walking
Ozzy
around.
and his son
He went-
Jack were here.
I think
Yeah.
Dee Carp made some harmonicas for him.
Well, yeah, went to go walk.
And who's the other
I went
guy
to
that
walk into
came?
Deke's shop, and I walked into this guy, and went, "Oh, excuse me." It was Ozzy.
And who's the other guy? The Kiss guy came here. They were doing
Oh, Gene Simmons,
a special-
his son, yeah.
a special at Ground Zero, but he wasn't nice. Nobody liked him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did Clarksdale. It wasn't good enough for him.
Oh, that's a
You know,
shame.
well, you know how he
Hey,
is.
not
He's
his
like
cup
up there,
of
and it's
tea.
not his cup of tea. But he didn't really. If he would have gotten into the town and how it was, I think he would have liked it.
Oh, I think so.
Because most of them do.
Right, exactly.
That's why they come back.
No.
1, 2, 3. I got my red beans cooking. I got my red beans cooking. Got my red beans cooking. I got my red beans cooking. Got my red beans cooking when I don't know I get me a song. I'm going down to Louisiana, gonna get me a ham on a bun. I'm going down to Louisiana, gonna get me a ham on a bun. I'm gonna have all you fine men jumping for joy.
Through this pandemic, we've been keeping in touch. Our friends in Australia, Switzerland, Germany, Italy, they all keep in touch.
Oh my gosh, we have so much fun with our Europeans. They come.
And I'm afraid with these guys, you never know
Yeah,
what,
what they're
I mean,
gonna
they're wonderful people, but they're a little off the wall.
It was funny. They're fun people. And then one year, we were tickled. There's an award on the wall there from the Blues Hall of Fame as Bluesberry, a great venue.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's
It's
amazing.
got the
That's,
seal on there and everything.
wow.
Our friends from Germany, Gunther and Gisela,
Right.
have been taking pictures in the Bluesberry
Since 2013.
2013. And they came back and gave us this hardbound book of everything that they've taken pictures of in the
From the
Bluesberry
Juke Joint
Cafe.
festivals every
Yeah.
year, up until what, 20?
This is the old
Third,
signage
fourth.
out front,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, you
I
can't
think
buy
there's
this.
5 or 6 years in there.
No, you look at the ceiling here, and it's like the UN.
Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable, the
Well,
number of
that's
flags.
it. And the flags can't be bought, they have to be given to us. I mean, it's a mojo thing, and every time you look up, you think of it, that Brazilian flag, that came from Fernando Rolim. Galia Volt gave us the Belgium flag. Fran gave us the Scottish flag. I mean, just all
Yep.
these flags. Ugo Poli gave us the Italian flag. And you just remember, and Jean-Claude and Giselle gave us the Swiss flag.
Yeah, it had to be the biggest.
Yeah, they had
And
to
the
have
best.
the biggest flag that I couldn't hang from the ceiling. I do have more flags that I just haven't had time to put up.
Right.
And it was funny the way it started with the flags. We had a Canadian couple that had been coming for a few years, and they asked me for a poster at the end of the festival. And I kind of freaked out a little bit because all these posters mean something. And I finally looked up and saw the Juke Joint poster. Big poster, and I ripped it down. I said, "You guys deserve this." And they said, well, what can we do for you? And I said, "Send me a flag." Well, instead of add that little 6-inch square flag, I got their state flag up there, the maple leaf, which is, I think, 3 by 4. So that started it. And then Stuart Knowles from Australia,
Right.
Stuart came in and he says, "Hey, mate, you ain't from Canada. What's with the flag?" So I told him, and he said, well, I can't let them Canadians beat me. So he sent us the Australian flag.
Well, when you're in Clarksdale, do come by the Bluesberry Cafe. You never know who you're going to run into, and get the meatballs. All right, Carol, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You know that gypsy woman told me you're your mama's bad luck child. You know that gypsy woman told me you're your mama's bad luck child. Living in the good times. But it will be trouble after a while.
It's time for the Blues Trail Music Report with Tamil Edwards. Tamil, how you doing today?
I'm so good, Ted. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. Listen, I wanted to find out who's coming to town and give folks a good idea of some of the variety of people that are now on the road and passing through town.
Yes, well, first, let me tell you, it's always a good time in Clarksdale, a bunch of good music in Clarksdale. But there's a couple acts who come through every now and again that I think should be mentioned. So we have, on this Saturday, Robert Kimbrough is going to be at Red's, which Robert comes through our town. You'll see his name on the billboard here and there for different festivals and stuff, so it's always a treat whenever he's in town. And then Ground Zero has Zach Coates tonight, and Zach is only 19 years old playing the blues from Hattiesburg. And so we're really excited about him coming to town. Also, this week, Ground Zero started their first Hump Day Jam. So not only will they be jamming on Thursdays, but we'll be jamming on Wednesdays as well, because there's so many amazing musicians that are always in town. Also, I would like to mention that Sean Bad Apple is offering music 6 days out the week from 3 to 7, which is awesome. So it's always a good solo duo act over there, good chill afternoon. Jam session sometimes is at his place. So if you're in town, come on by Sean Apples and after lunch and come listen to some good old-fashioned blues.
That's a great idea. One of the things that I've noticed whenever I'm in town there and there is a jam at Ground Zero, you have no idea who's going to pop up on that stage.
You literally do not. No, you do not.
And sometimes it's some jaw-dropping talent. You know, what are they doing here? This is amazing. You know,
I think, man, right before the pandemic, we had Sassy Brown from Alabama, and just a random Thursday jam. We were packed. It was a good jam. And this lady, and I always tell people I hear good music all the time. If I turn around and, look at this stage while I'm busy, you got to be like, OMG. So all of a sudden I'm busy, I'm working, and I hear this powerhouse voice on stage, and I turn around. It was like everything was in slow motion once Sassy Brown started singing, and this lady was, killing it. Very soulful voice, but of course she's from Alabama. So, but yeah, I mean, you never know who's on stage. Now, it is a blues jam, but however, sometimes we've had teenagers say haikus.
Right.
We had a guy who rapped one time. There's a couple of people who sing R&B that get on stage. So
Great.
You never know what you'll see. Mainly it's blues, but every now and again you get a special treat.
Exactly. And the other thing that's really amazing is the sort of range of styles that the band, whoever it is, up there can cover. And that's really wild. That's amazing. I think it just proves more how much great musical talent there is in Clarksdale.
Oh, yeah. These musicians, a lot of the musicians, of course, they're free agents, so they play with multiple bands. They might be known for playing with a particular band, but for the most part, they mix it up. You might see this drummer play with this band this day and another band the next day. Next thing you know, he's on tour with somebody else. So they're so used to playing different styles of music. There's been a couple times where things have happened to where a band can't show up, and we're like, hey, Lee Williams, you'll play drums. Walt Busby, you'll guitar.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jack Lee Buckles, and you'll come up with this amazing band that have been playing together for over 20 years, but haven't played together in like 5 or 6. But it's still, you know, they picked up without a beat, or without missing a beat. So, yeah, it's always interesting to see how jam night is going to turn out, because you get so many different dynamics on stage.
Oh yeah, it's really exciting though, because again, you don't know who's coming up next, and usually they're really good. You know, that's the thing. All right, Tamil, thank you very much. This was great to catch up with you.
Thank you so much, Ted.
And once again, everybody, you know, check out what's going on at Ground Zero. Check out cathead.biz to sort of see what day by day is going on music-wise. And Tamil, we'll be talking again as we get closer to some of the other big events happening this year.
Absolutely, Ted. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tamil. All right, check you next time. I'd like to thank everyone for listening to the Blues Trail Revisited podcast in partnership with Visit Clarksdale. You can watch the film that inspired this podcast by going to www.bluestrailrevisited.com. And you can find out a lot more about Clarksdale, Mississippi by going to visitclarksdale.com or download the app and check out all the cool interactive features. I'd like to shout out a special hello to the folks at Shared Experiences USA. They're organizing special Delta experiences, including Clarksdale's Black History Experience and Deke Harp's Blues Experience. Check out the Shared Experiences Facebook page or sharedexperiencesUSA.com. I'm Ted Reed, and to all you blues music fans out there, keep on hitting the blues trail. You'll never know what you're going to find. The Blues Trail Revisited podcast is produced by Ted Reed Productions. Field audio producer is Nolan Dean, and our project manager is Jamie Nuts. Thanks for listening.